What a transition. Object of the day, Trey's white and green pen. That was beautiful. We have got an awesome episode for you guys today. We've got a very special guest. We're introducing a new game that we're going to play with the guest. So we're not just having a guest on and doing a new segment. We are conjoining all of it. We're going to talk about Ben Simmons taking 23s in a basketball game. Is that real? Is that going to happen? That can't happen. No way that flies. After 2 missed threes from Ben Simmons, coach ain't letting him take another one. Trey, you had some big news today with the NIL deal. Obviously, we've got the Meditation Minute. We're going to have a great show for you guys, and it starts right now. When we come back, we got a really cool interview, and we'll see you after the break. Trey, we've got a very special guest on this edition of the On the Court in the Booth podcast. And it's not Leroy. It's not Lessons with Leroy. It's an even cooler guest than Leroy. It's your mom's favorite ambidextrous quarterback, all right? And that guy is none other than Mikey Gow. How are we doing today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, man. How's life treating you?
It's been going great lately.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we're having Mikey on. We're going to go through a real quick interview, and then we've got a brand new game we're going to introduce after this. So, Mikey, you ready? You ready to get started, buddy?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Absolutely. So, with our first question, we're going to ask you, and this is a very important question to me, Mikey. I'm a big football fan. You are a football guy. You are a quarterback, so you're really involved with the game. But the most important question when it comes to football, and this goes with anybody, what's your team? What's your pro team, and what made you initially like them?
Yeah, growing up, I've been a Minnesota Vikings fan. There's no other reason besides the fact that my dad's from Minnesota.
Mikey, we got off to a good foot, man. This is going south quickly.
My dad's from Duluth, Minnesota, like a small town in Minnesota, but he grew up a Vikings fan. So, I mean, I kind of got put in the position of having to be a Vikings fan. But I also liked the Panthers back in 2015. I kind of bandwagoned when Cam was MVP and all that.
Everybody did.
He was my favorite QB at the time. So, yeah, those like the two that I like right now.
All right, well, absolutely. That's a great answer. We're going to go back and forth. Trey, it is your turn for a question, sir.
No, well, first off, hi, Mikey. It's the first time that we've talked, actually. Before the show, I was, too busy trying to set everything up. I guess my question of the day is, how does your coach feel about, what kind of freedom do you get when you're playing, from your coaches? Because I know, when I, obviously I don't play football, but in basketball, it's weird because depending on, who your coach is, what state you play in, there's so many factors that it comes in, a part of the game. So can you tell us, a little bit about that?
Yeah, last year, so I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this since I was 8, the ambidextrous stuff. But I brought it into football, and last year, I wasn't given a lot of freedom to do it. I just really didn't bring it up to my coach that I could do it. No one really knew I could do it. So I feel like I took a year to just develop and get it right before I even brought it up to anyone. So this year, my coach has given me basically the freedom to do whatever I want to do with it, when I want to do with it, just as long as it feels right for me. As long as I'm comfortable with it, he's comfortable with it. So we kind of got a trust relationship between us, and really he's just cool with whatever I want to do.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Trey mentioned freedom. I'm going to kind of piggyback off that question, but go a little farther. With you throwing with both hands, that's a huge weapon offensively. But I mean, if you could really describe and break down how much of an advantage that gives you versus opposing defenses, how much does that open up a playbook being able to throw with both hands?
Well, I think obviously the biggest thing is rollouts. A lot of quarterbacks make dumb throws when they're throwing across their body. Obviously, you don't have as much power. It takes longer to make the throw. So I think definitely on rollouts, it's a big advantage. Your shoulder's already there. Just different stuff that any quarterback would understand. That is obviously a big advantage when you can roll either way and still be as accurate and still be as strong. I think also just really you react in different game situations. Whatever the game puts you in, whatever situation the game puts you in, you can kind of react in any way that you feel is needed. So if there's a D lineman in your face, you can either flip it, throw one way, flip it, throw the other. And then lastly, I think it helps on screens. If you're throwing to your left, you can throw to your right. You don't have to like flip your hips and throw with your left. If you're throwing to your right, you don't have to flip your hips and throw with your right. So I think really it's just a lot of things that small advantages, but they can definitely help like save a interception or save just a costly throw.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking about it when I first saw your video that went viral. I was thinking about it and I was like, he is never going to have to throw across his body. Like never in your football career will you be in a spot where you're like you have to go across the body where that's a tough, very tough throw to make for quarterbacks, and it's always preached as at the quarterback position that you don't throw off the back foot and you don't throw across your body. And you just with being ambidextrous have avoided the entire situation of having to put it across your body. So I thought it was awesome, and I was immediately drawn to it and wanted to get to speak with you. But Trey, your next question, sir.
No, again, piggybacking off Wyatt, I know for me growing up in basketball, like a big thing was always like using both hands, and I was always wondering, like other sports, like why don't other sports like use both? I mean, obviously, maybe a switch pitcher, switch hitter in baseball, but I have been wondering that in football, the same thing. Like, why don't more people do such a thing? And so for you to be somebody who I guess kind of starts that trend is really kind of cool because you can in a way change the game, like not just for high school sports and not just be kind of one up thing, like the actual game of football. I think not a lot of people get to do that like in their sport. But what made you kind of I guess break out of that mold? Because when you play a sport, oftentimes you have your coaches, you have your mentors, you have people you look up to. Well, nobody else is doing kind of what you're doing as far as being ambidextrous, throwing both ways. So how did that either both come to mind, and how did you work on it or have the confidence enough to do that?
Yeah. Well, it happened while I was growing up. I was kind of like forced into it. I pitched. Growing up. I was a baseball player, so that was my sport. I do it. I pitched gas, like I pitched absolute heat. So I was pitching a state. I don't know if it was a state championship game or a state playoff game, but it was a state game, and I threw I think 75 pitches at 8 years old in 6 innings, and I held them to almost a shutout. It was a great game. My adrenaline was pumping, of course, so I didn't really feel any pain. But after the game, I was like, dang, Dad, my arm's like feeling like it's like numb. I can't really feel it. So he's like, all right. So we went to the doctors, got it checked up on, and they told me that my growth plates were split. So I was out I couldn't do anything like actively with my right arm for a year. So I was just bored kind of sitting there, and I still wanted to do something though because I'm an athlete and I want to stay active and all that. But so we were at baseball practice one day, and my mom told me, why don't you just throw left-handed? And I just, like any kid would, thought that would just be crazy. Like, why would I do that? But so yeah, she kind of got me into it, and then me and my dad started working on stuff like coordination, and just overall throwing lefty. There's videos of me. I just posted one on Instagram, I think yesterday, where I was just throwing at steps. I was throwing at a pillow. I was just so dedicated to trying to get my left hand looking like my right, and as I've grown up, I think that a lot of people have seen that it's starting to look the same. It's starting to come all together. But yeah, I think I was just put in a position where it's either do I want to be successful with my opportunity or do I want to just sit back and just wait a year. I know I was young, but it was just one of those things where I could either sit back and wait or I could just take advantage of what I have.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. And a really big thing with this that I've kind of noticed about the whole situation is, you're essentially a kid from Nebraska who went from a few months ago was a great high school athlete and was, most likely, I'm not sure because I'm not from Nebraska, but I would guarantee that you're very well known in your town. Everybody, wants to go see the quarterback who wants to throw with both arms. But now you've reached this national prospect highlights. You've had so many national networks preaching about you, talking about, how you're able to throw with both arms. This is something we've never seen before. And my question for you, because I know that can add a lot of pressure in situations. So just how have you adjusted to having all this media attention from these major networks and just the world?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when I first got all the attention, I didn't go to school for 2 days because it was just absurd. I've never got that much attention before. I've never felt that before. I've never known what it's like. So it just hit me, and I was gaining crazy amounts of followers every second, every minute. So it was just surreal for me. And then I literally couldn't function for 2 days. It was crazy, but that actually got my somehow that got my mind messed up. I looked at it too much or something. It just got my mind messed up. And my dad, his best idea for me was just to shut it down, stop looking at it for a couple days, weeks, just focus on what you need to focus on and stop looking at the social media aspect of things. It'll take care of itself. So that's really what I did. But for me, I've always dealt with pressure. I always like being in the spotlight. I used to do Broadway when I was a kid. I used to do hip hop. I was a dancer. I was a singer. But
you do hip hop. Can you give us a freestyle real quick?
Don't.
I'm good. but like I said, I've always liked to be in the spotlight, and I've always liked to just I wouldn't say I'd fold under pressure. So I like the challenge of being under the spotlight and just taking the moment.
Absolutely. Well, our final question before we get on to our new game that we got to introduce. Trey, you got the floor here. Pressure's on. We're speaking of pressure. The pressure's on you right here. This is the last question. We got to get a good one here.
Last question. If I had one question to ask, I actually
ask him what his favorite food is.
I didn't have another question. Those are my only. I think Wyatt and I hit everything. Let's see. I'm trying to get a really deep question.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
Mikey, he's gonna press you here, man. This is a psychology major at Purdue University. Philosophy. My bad. Philosophy.
Yes.
Right. This guy, he's gonna give you a good question here, I'm sure. Give him one of those where you've just stumped me and I didn't know what I was thinking or what was even going on.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's just a simple one. If you didn't play sports, what would you do?
That's a great question.
That is a great question. If I didn't play sports, I think the thing that I'd want to do is be a teacher when I grew up. Right now, I just focus on school. That's what I do anyway. I focus on school and sports, but I just focus on the school aspect of things, get to college, get my degree, and then go into teaching because I think I work really well with kids. I like being around kids. I think they're some of the best things in life, and you really just got to hit their heart well to bond with them and stuff. So I think I'm really good with kids. I like helping out around the community with our kids around here. So I think I definitely want to go into teaching. But right now, since I am playing sports, I want to go into sports management or communications. That's what I want to do right now.
Hey, tell you what, sports communications, that's a That's a great major to be in. That's all I'm going to say. We got a sports communications major on this show right now, so we can, whatever it is. Mikey, you're a sophomore in high school, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That was one of the best answers I've ever gotten from a sophomore in high school. That was a great answer. So you mentioned after
people like Mikey in the world.
We do need more people like Mikey. Exactly.
Loves to be around and educate kids.
Yeah, I mean, when you talked about
gonna have that mindset, where would we be right now?
Oh, we wouldn't live on Earth. We would have already conquered another galaxy. That's what would have happened by now.
Exactly.
That's what would have happened for sure. Well, talking about, after college you want to go into teaching, if the opportunity does present itself, is your goal to become an NFL quarterback?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's
the goal to become an NFL quarterback.
I think that's definitely the big.
Well, he said he wanted to become a teacher. I just wanted to clarify on that.
No, I don't want to become an NFL quarterback.
But yeah, that's 100% big dream. But a lot of people tell me, you just got to focus on, because it's like what 0.01% chance that you.
It is a very low chance. That is true, but
I'd take my odds. But if that doesn't happen, like injuries happen and all that, you always got to have a backup plan. So that's what
absolutely, that's true. Always bet on yourself, but there is a plan B always. Well, no matter what happens. So you mentioned you wanted to get into teaching. I know we said that was the last question, but you gave a great answer, and there's a lot of stuff I really wanted to expand on. You mentioned that you wanted to be a teacher at the high school level. A lot of, if not all, because I know in Indiana it was a rule. If you were a high school sports coach, you had to be a teacher at the school. So is that something you wanted to get into? Are you wanting to be like a high school coach along with teaching?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'd want to be a teacher and then be a football coach also. So
nice. So are you gonna? Would it be like a return to the place you're at now? Or are you looking to? Because Trey here grew up in Indiana, played basketball in Indiana, and he never wants to return to coach or do anything with Indiana basketball again. Are you wanting to stay in Nebraska and coach football, or are you wanting to go maybe to where your dad's from, Minnesota, or who knows, maybe somewhere else even?
I'm not really sure right now, but in the future, I'd definitely look at staying here. Or obviously, a lot of coaches will talk. If you're well known, football, you'll go teach at one of the top programs. So that'd be really cool if I could be a coach at one of the top programs in the country.
Absolutely.
Or even coaching college ball too. Just being a teacher, being a coach is one of the jobs that I like to do when I'm older.
Absolutely, man. Well,
what is Nebraska like?
That's a good question too. What is Nebraska like? I feel like it's a lot like Indiana, just a lot of cornfields and stuff, I would assume.
Yeah, we got the Cornhuskers, of course, and then
there you go,
College World Series, and that's about it.
College World Series.
So is it just like I said, just fields and just no mountains, no snow up there? Down there,
Nebraska's the most
over there.
I guess they're the most Nebraska's the most bipolar state in the country. I swear, it'll rain one day and it'll be 100 degrees the next. But
that's crazy.
Okay, yeah.
That's that Midwest for you, man. That's why I decided to book it. I came down here to Florida because the Midwest, it's just the weather's ridiculous. Literally one day, you're right. It could be spitting snow, and the next day you're having a heat stroke. Like it's just. There's no middle ground to it. It's like every day, and then the next day you have a tornado. Like, where did that come from? It's just
Okay, that's it's not. Chill out, okay. I'm the type of guy who would, I would be here in Indiana for the rest of my life. I'd live in a place like Nebraska the rest of my life. If it's anything like Indiana, just in the middle of nowhere, that is perfect for me. But Wyatt's on the other end. He likes all the action and the fashion and all
yes,
that
sir.
Stuff. That's
you got to, I would love to settle down in Indiana at some point, but I just, I don't know. I feel like it's not right now. It's definitely not right now. That point is probably 50, 40 years down the road. I mean, it's out there. It's like I'm grasping at it. It's way gone. So well, eventually though, wherever it leads us. But we're going to take a quick 1-minute break. and then we're going to come back and we're going to introduce the new game. And Mikey, you ready to play this new game, man? You ready for what you're getting into here?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. We'll be back in 1 minute. I feel calm and refreshed after that lovely playlist, whatever that was.
How much better do you feel now after the meditation minute?
I feel great. That wasn't even the meditation minute. That was just a pre-gamer to the meditation minute that we're gonna do. That was a pre-gamer. That was a pre-gamer. That wasn't even
how I did that.
The meditation.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't even notice that for a second. Wow, I'm out of it today.
It's crazy, man. So the new game we're introducing, it goes, there are a couple of different ways you can call this game, but me and Trey were sitting down and trying to think of a good name to come up with for this. And we came up with the name White Lies. So to explain White Lies, the game, I'm going to present Mikey and Trey with 3 facts about sports. The only thing about that is 2 of those facts are completely made up. I just made them up in my head, came up with the craziest thing I could, and the correct fact, all these correct facts are like mind-blowing sports facts. So like all of them sound completely fake, but one is real. So with that being said, our first ever White Lies that we're going to do on the show, Mikey, you're our guest, buddy, so we'll let you go and we'll let you guess first. But the 3 statements.
Wait. So is it me versus Mikey, or are we on the same
Yes.
team trying to beat you?
No. It's you. Actually, you know what? That's a great point. It's you guys. You guys have to discuss this together, and then you guys come up with the answer, and it'll be you guys versus me. How about that?
So we only get to pick one answer.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Is that cool? Is that cool, everybody? We'll change up the rules last second. I like it. This is for the moment. This is great. So here we go. Your 3 facts are: Michael Jordan ate sardines before each game. Fact 1. Fact 2. Peyton Manning owns one of the world's largest marble collections. Fact
That's 100%
3.
correct.
Yeah.
That's 100% correct. Bro,
Kite flying is a professional sport in Thailand.
Wait, what is it?
So those are your 3.
All right.
Kite flying is a professional sport in Thailand.
I think
Flying,
it's,
like if you fly a kite.
Flying. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
I feel like that's so out of the blue that it's got to be true. Like
Which one?
Flying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
So we got
flying.
kite flying off the bat. Mikey's really thinking about
there
kite
ain't no way
flying.
the Michael Jordan one is right. That's just not even his personality.
You don't eat sardines? Is that what you're saying? There's no way. Do you both agree that Michael Jordan does not eat sardines?
Yeah.
Yes, we agree on that.
Okay. So we're down to 2 then. So you guys are down to 2. There's Peyton Manning has the world's largest marble collection,
Oh.
and kite flying is a professional sport in Thailand. Those are the 2.
Probably
You know, like
flying.
kite flying being a professional sport, that makes somewhat sense. Like I could see that being a good sport. But
It does make sense in a way.
Well, Peyton Manning seems like such a guy to just collect marbles.
Peyton Manning is a very odd and interesting and unique person. He very well could be collecting marbles. He very well could be. You never know.
Wow, it's definitely the last 2. You had a gut instinct with the kite flying.
Yeah.
I think we should go
know
with
though.
that then. The kite flying?
That it's the truth? It's the truth?
Yeah, truth.
All right, true.
Okay. So you guys are going with the kite flying.
Yeah.
The true statement of the three. Kite flying is a professional sport in Thailand. That is true.
Oh, yeah.
Starting off 1-0. That's huge.
One old good guy.
You guys saw right through the MJ Sardines thing. That wasn't even thought about. That was like, done. Let's get that off the screen.
That was awful.
Yeah, no. And then Peyton, I was just sitting there and I was like, what's a really good NFL player, an all-timer that everybody would know? I'm like, okay, Peyton Manning, just off the top of the head. And I'm like, what is the craziest fact that I could spit about this guy right now? Just say the craziest thing. And that's what I came up with. So starting off 1-0, you guys have the lead here in the beginning. But that's going to change after this one because it's going to get crazier as we go along.
Okay.
So with that being said, your next white lie is statement 1. A frozen baseball travels further than a room temp baseball. Fact 2.
What does that even mean?
Like if you take a baseball and you freeze it, if you hit it, it will go farther than if you just left a baseball in a room and it was just whatever regular baseball temperature is.
Okay.
So a frozen baseball will travel further than a room temperature or just regular temperature baseball. That's fact
There
1.
ain't no way you made that up.
Fact 2, MLB umpires wear black underwear in case their pants split mid-game. That's fact 2.
Very well may be true too, though.
What?
Wow.
And then fact 3, and this likely could be the craziest one. LeBron James puts mustard on steak.
That one's wrong, bro.
Having an MJ Sardines part 2.
Yeah,
that was
an
another.
MJ Sardines part 2. No
That was
way
another
he puts
all-timer.
mustard on steak.
Craziest thing I could think
Why
of.
it's different for that? Okay.
I was just throwing that one out there. I think.
You know what's
But
crazy?
it was so bad that I'll give it to you guys. LeBron does not put mustard on steak, so I'll narrow it down to 2 for you here.
Yeah.
All right.
It's almost like getting a well done steak. Yeah. For everybody. That gets steak.
I get medium well. I'm not even lying to you. I do. I'm a medium well guy. What do you get? You get medium?
Dark side.
You get medium?
He's literally approaching the dark side. Oh Bro, why do you do that to your steak?
I hate blood. I just hate blood. Like whenever I see if I get a cut or something, I feel like I'm going to throw up and pass out every time. So the same goes with food. If I bite into a steak and blood runs out, that's just
Dude, but instead of paying $20, you can go to the gas station and get it for $5.99. It's called Jack Link's. It's beef jerky, bro. Stop buying that. Stop buying well done stuff.
Hey, Jack Link's is pretty good.
Jack Link's is good though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's good stuff. Every time you stop at a gas station, you consider Jack Link's.
Mikey, I actually think I know this one. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
I actually think it is the umpire one.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think there's something in my memory that's like I've heard that fact before.
It's happened before. That's why it's a fact.
Okay.
I think it's happened before. That's why it's happened before.
Yeah.
So you're like an umpire split their pants mid-game, and that's how this happened?
That's such an absurd
What was the
thing.
first one again?
So the first one was a frozen baseball travels further than a room temperature baseball.
I think
because and just to expand on it a little more, it is because the baseball is harder when frozen.
I don't think that's right. I'm going with the.
I don't think that's right.
I'm definitely going
Do it, man. Push it off to the side.
I'll agree. I will agree.
We're going umpire.
Okay, so you guys are both going with umpires wear black underwear in case their pants split mid-game, correct?
Yep.
Just like that, you guys started out 2-0.
Let's go.
Oh, wow! I thought I did something, but you guys are seeing right through it. And it does progressively get a little harder as we go on. So the next one,
dude, I'm cutting out here for me.
I'm cutting out. Okay, here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fact one. Okay, fact one. When the NBA started and it was first originally made, it paid its players in food.
That's not true.
Fact two.
Yeah, you know that. I don't.
100%. Paid its players in food.
You play.
Fact two.
Wine is different. That's borderline racist.
It's borderline. What is racist about that? Oh my god! You're gonna be canceled out here.
Paid its players in food. Wow.
They didn't have money. Okay, they just started. Where is this money coming from? You know?
How are they buying food then?
Huh?
Incredible.
How are they buying food then?
Okay.
I don't know, concession stands, Ballpark hot dogs or something. Next fact.
Wow.
Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers takes a bath in a lake outside of his house every single morning.
It's an Aaron Rodgers thing.
That does sound like an Rodgers thing to do.
Does sound like
Let's hear three.
Rodgers.
Let's hear three.
And then 3 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar collects rugs.
That's not.
What do you think, man? I told you this was going to be a hit. This is good stuff right here.
This is great work.
This is awesome. I spent a full week preparing these questions every day, revisiting them and trying to come up with better ones.
Oh. So the first one's not right. There's no way. There's 0% chance that's right.
Okay, so we're saying no to the NBA paying its players in food when it was originally made.
No. There's no no pay for food situation.
Okay. All right. Then the next one was Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers takes a bath in the lake outside of his house every single morning.
That makes
I think it's that one. There's no way Kareem collects rugs.
And then the third one is the third one is Kareem.
I know.
Kareem was a weird guy. He was a very weird guy.
Weird guy. I mean, I just remember he was on all these movies, and there was this documentary that came out, and he was like depicting him as a big hippie. Man,
rugs though.
Does a
hippie
collect rugs? Is that like a thing that I didn't know about?
Exactly.
Rugs is a bit different for me.
It's odd. It's definitely odd.
I can't tell if you're trying to trick us or not.
And the craziest.
Oh, I'm definitely trying to trick you, Mikey. That's totally what's happening here.
Wyatt has a fetish for Aaron Rodgers too, so I think that was it. or Wyatt is a big Aaron Rodgers guy. So that's 100%.
All right, so we're going with Aaron. We're going with AR-12. Bathes in a lake every single morning. Do what?
Mikey, what are you thinking?
I think the Aaron Rodgers one.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
All right. And with that being said, the score is now 2-1. Wow. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar collects rugs.
Okay.
Rugs?
So he has extremely sensitive feet. And because of that, he originally got a rug in his house, and he loved it so much that he started collecting rugs. That is a fact. That is a sports fact. To this day, he still has a rug collection in his house.
That's weird, but it kind of makes
sense. That's wild, isn't it?
Definitely a weird guy.
Oh, for sure.
That's definitely plausible. I like that.
I'm feeling good now.
The food one was different, Wyatt. I'm not gonna lie, but
the food one was different, huh? I was like, what is the most bizarre thing? I was like, what could they get paid in other than money? And I'm like, what would I get paid in money? I was like, I'll take a nice hamburger, that sounds kind of good.
Yeah.
So it was all based off of that. I was kind of hungry at the time, I think is what it was. So here we go. The next one, and we got two sections left. So the first one before the last one. This fact number 1, gold medals actually aren't gold. All right. Fact 2, in 1930, golf was banned in England due to, you ready for this? This is the craziest thing. Due to a high involvement in wanting to push archery. So England banned golf because they wanted to pursue archery more as a country. And then fact 3, Wilt Chamberlain used to eat black licorice during basketball games while he played on the court.
What is up with these, like, you have 2 really good facts, and then all of a sudden you have, like, this popular player, and then this weird thing. You have a bunch of those in there.
Hey, the last one was true. The last one about the rugs was true.
Black licorice. Ain't no way. That one.
No way
No way on the black licorice. Say it again, Mikey.
So no way you go back to back with the weird known NBA players.
Yeah, the weird
All right.
out of the blue NBA.
That's understandable. That is understandable. So we got or go ahead. Oh, we lost Trey. I just clicked back over from the questions. We lost Trey. Well, in the meantime, until we get Trey back, he normally pops back on in just a second. But in the meantime, you both didn't like the Wilt Chamberlain used to eat black licorice. So the 2 that are left is gold medals actually aren't gold. And in 1930, golf was banned in England.
For archery.
Yes, for archery. Because they wanted to push archery. Both pretty wild here.
Yeah. The archery is pretty specific. But I feel like off of your questions so far, you get pretty specific. So I do.
I do my research on these and find the craziest thing I can find. Oh, I heard the ding. I think we got Trey back. Oh, momentarily.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
Never mind. Just keep going, buddy. We're waiting.
He's kind of carrying me right now, so I'm gonna have to wait for this.
Right. Let's see. Go ahead.
I feel like it's got to be I want to say the archery, but that's like too specific. Like you went into like depth with that.
So, Mikey, we have a running gag here at Encore in the Booth that maybe if you make it to the NFL, you can pay for better connection here at On the Court in the Booth. When stuff just randomly dies, like.
Are you in a dorm right now?
So we narrowed it down, right? That's what I'm thinking. Did you ever pick between the random archery one and what was the other one?
The goal.
No, so we narrowed it down. You guys narrowed it down to in 1930, golf in England was banned because of a recent push in archery, and everybody wanted to go toward archery instead of golf. And then the other one is gold medals actually aren't gold.
I have no clue.
I actually think it's the archery one because I think
that's what I was saying. But
I think there's a recent I think something with coins they aren't really. It's not really I think there's something along with coins that's that way, and I think Wyatt subconsciously remembered that.
So you think the coins are true? The gold's true?
No, I think the archery one is true.
All right, I'll side with
the golf, the archery one.
I'll side.
All right,
okay,
gentlemen, this game is tied 2-2, baby.
Let's
go. So in the early 1400s, not 1930, golf was banned in England for a push in archery in the 1400s, way back in the day. But
you're really gonna do that to us?
That's
But-
crazy.
Wow.
but
Crazy.
gold medals since the year of 1912 gold medals since the year of 1912 have not been gold.
That was cheap. I'm not gonna lie.
So gold medals are not
Not
actually
lie.
gold.
It's like
There you go.
Reggie Wayne has 3 brothers. Ha! He only has 2 brothers. Though.
He only has 2. He has 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that was a good one. But hey, we are going to the final round of this. We're tied 2-2. There can only be one winner in this, and it all gets decided on this one. So, statement number 1. A baseball spins 100 times before it is hit. So from the pitcher to the glove or to the bat, a baseball spins 100 times before it is hit. Fact number 2.
Okay.
The state sport of Maryland is jousting. You guys, jousting where they get on the horses and they have the big long sticks and they whack each other with them as they run by?
I actually think that's the one.
Okay.
All right.
And then fact number 3, our final fact. The household wrench was invented by a pro tennis player in the 1940s.
Huh.
I made sure I got the best 3 I had for if this went to a best 3 out of 5 scenario. I wanted the best 3 here on this one. So to repeat them again, a baseball spins 100 times before it's hit. That's fact 1. Fact 2 is the state sport of Maryland is jousting. And then fact 3 is the household wrench was invented by a pro tennis player in the 1940s.
Trey, are you still playing at Purdue right now, or are you like out of college? Yeah. So like, aren't they the Terps at Maryland? You play them, Maryland. Like, I don't know what that means, but like the logo looks like some jousting type thing. You know?
Yeah, their state flag. They have their state flag. I think we're going to lose Trey again. Let's see here. Let me take him off. Put him back on. Yeah, this is. Oh, there we go. We're getting him back a little bit. There we go. All right. Sorry. Ask your question again, Mikey. Go ahead, buddy.
No, you asked about Maryland's mascot, right?
The flag, like their team logo.
Their team logo is the like state of Maryland's flag.
I feel like that's okay. So the 100 times jousting.
And 100 times sounds fine. I don't know why that's not. If he beats us with the 100 times, he wins. Congrats. Good job, Wyatt.
It's probably like 105 times or something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Can you imagine? It's like a baseball on average spins 101 times or 99 times.
No, Wyatt's the type of guy. Oh, it actually spins 98 times.
Yes.
That's horrible.
Just barely off.
Man. I'm thinking. I don't think the third one's right. Can we knock out the third?
Yeah.
The third one was the household wrench was invented by a pro tennis player. You want to eliminate that option?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that leaves a baseball spins 100 times before it's hit, and the state sport of Maryland is jousting. Leaves you with those 2. Good luck.
I think it's the Maryland Terrapins. That sounds right. What are Terrapins?
Yeah.
They're turtles. They're like mascots, like a turtle, dude. I don't know if a terpin is a turtle. I think it is.
Is that true? Or are you lying?
No. I swear. Let me look it up real quick, so that way I'm not like lying to you guys.
All right.
I'm gonna look it up right here. What is a terpin? Terpin is a chemical comp. No, that's not at all what I was looking for.
Another word for jousting.
Yeah, it's a it's a terrapin. They're terrapins and they're turtles.
Mm.
That's straight up from Google right now.
To know.
Well, I just know that they're the Maryland Terrapins.
But how
I
do you
watched a lot of
turtle?
sports in my day. Well, because like their logo used to be this turtle, and I always thought it was so funny because the turtle is literally just, let me move the camera so you can see it. The turtle's just standing there like this with his thumb up, and I've always thought that was the dumbest logo in sports.
The hundred spins. I think that's right.
Okay.
I think that's correct. Unfortunately, why it's pressing too hard for the turtles, and then the wrench is just wrong, just because it is wrong.
What do you think, Mikey?
All right. Based off my test thinking skills, it's never the same like letter twice. So I'm gonna go the baseball because it was 2 last time, so it's back to 1 this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
So
That's
you
true.
both are agreeing on baseball, right?
Mhm.
And with that being said, we do have a winner. We have a 3-2 winner on
Of course
this.
we do. Of course we have a 3-2 winner. Either way,
And our 3-2 winner was once down by 0-2, and he just won it and came all the way back, baby. Let's go! Yes! Okay, you're going to hate me. Here we go. You ready for this? The state sport of Maryland is jousting. Okay? A baseball spins 10 times, not 100, before it's hit by a bat. So there was a significant difference in that one. And then the household wrench was not invented by a pro tennis player, but it was invented by a boxer. A pro boxer in the 1940s invented the household wrench.
Yeah.
Good game.
There we go.
Now you think about it, because like
I was thinking like every mile per hour it would spin once. That's what I was thinking. But, like,
that does kind of make sense. And if you watch a baseball being thrown, I mean, it literally rotates like this. So, I mean, it would make sense, yeah. But, all right, good game.
100
And
crazy number.
it was. And I believe when it comes off the bat, it was like a pun. When I read it online, it said a baseball spins 10 times before it's hit, and then the pitcher has to watch it spin 15 more times for it to be a home run. So if it's a home run, a baseball has to spin an average of 15 spins off the bat.
What a random.
So there you go. Right, it's just random. I'm telling you, I got to the depths of the sports facts internet and found these. I mean, I was scrounging these things off the bottom, completely scrounging. But with that being said, that was White Liar. And Mikey, we appreciate you so much for coming on, buddy. Yeah, it was a fun segment. I had a lot of fun. It was awesome. We've definitely got to bring this back. That was great. That was awesome. We gotta have Leroy do this one too. But like I said, with that being said, Mikey, we appreciate you for taking time out of your day to come and be on the show. And you're welcome back anytime you want to come back on the show, buddy.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Nice to meet you, man. Good talking to you. Have a good day, man.
All right, see you.
All right, Mikey Gow, man, he was awesome. That was a great interview, and he played White Lies awesomely. But we are going to go to. Let's see here. Let me pull up my old handy dandy rundown. We
should have people shout out Mikey's Instagram or whatever.
Hold on, we still got him backstage. Mikey, give a shout out to your Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff.
All right. My Instagram is Mikey_Gow. Twitter, Mikey Gow 2308. And then my TikTok, a lot of kids have that. So it's just Mikey Gow.
All right, now quickly, while this is recording, just do a quick promo. I only listen to the On the Court in the Booth podcast. My name is Mikey Gow. I'm just kidding. Yeah, the great. My name is Mikey Gow, and the greatest podcast I have ever seen is On the Court in the Booth podcast. There, that's what we need.
ripping off high school.
Yes, that's exactly. Oh man, but like I said.
I've been on a few interviews since then now, but this one's like the most organized like thing. Like,
let's go. Let's go. You hear that, Trey? We'll take that any day of the week. Let's go.
I really had like segments on like a show. So, like this is sick.
Like, my room is amazing right now. I have like 3 trash like clothes on the floor, but no one knows that. You know, it's like
it's beautiful. You just see this right here.
Yeah, see my feet. They don't see the armor that goes around the you know. So, sure. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Mikey, like I said a minute ago, before we brought you back on to shout out your social media handles and stuff. And by the way, everybody go follow Mikey on those social media handles. Buddy, we appreciate you for coming on. Like I said before, you're welcome to come back on the show anytime you want.
All right, definitely. Thank you.
All right, sounds good, buddy. We'll see you, man. Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, bye. All right. So with that being said, we lost Trey for a second. Oh, we got him back. Trey's got some tough connection right now, so we might not be able to hear him. He's fighting this Indiana Wi-Fi right now. You're fighting. I can hear you, but you're like I can't see. You're like here, and then you're here, and then you're here, and then you're here, and then you're here. It's like really spacing out. But we're gonna give it just a minute, real quick. We are going to jump to the meditation minute right now. We're going to move a couple of things up in the show. We'll jump to the meditation minute right now. That'll give us a minute to work out the service, the Indiana service, and there it goes. We lost Trey. But we're going to take a 1-minute meditation minute break, and when we come back, Trey just signed an NIL deal. We're going to talk about that. Ben Simmons says he's going to take 23s per game. I got a solid bet says that does not happen. And then the Dubs are aiming to keep Jordan Poole, Wiggins, and Green. We'll talk about all that whenever we get back from the Meditation Minute. We will see you in 1 minute.
Okay.
All right.
Hopefully I have better connection. All right, Wyatt.
Yeah, that's great.
On the spot right
Put
now.
me on the spot. Well, first, we got to put each other on the correct spots. Look at that.
There we go. Yeah. What's going on here? I knew something was off.
It's because we lost you. We got you back. It always wants to flip us for some reason.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what it is. But anyways, you're putting me on the spot. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay. Person. Okay. So there's 2 different people.
Okay.
Person A is Person A is babysitting. Okay. Is bringing the kids back home to their parents' house. When he puts the kids in the car, he forgets to buckle their seatbelt. When he gets to the parents' house, this is, I don't know why it has to be a guy, but the babysitter notices that he didn't buckle the children's seatbelt. How mad would you be at the babysitter?
If I'm person A and I didn't lock I didn't buckle.
Person A is the babysitter.
Oh, okay, and they didn't buckle, and it's like my kids, or is it like somebody else's kids?
It's your kids. You're the parents of the kids.
Oh yeah, I'm fighting. That's not going to stand at all. That's just.
But it was a mistake. It was a genuine mistake.
Obviously, I went a little overboard. I was just kidding around. It's not like fight, but if it was a genuine mistake, I'm still going to be very upset. I mean, that's that's the most brainless, careless mistake that there is in that situation. So I mean, it's like if you are responsible enough to be a nanny and watch these kids, you should be responsible enough to just buckle a seatbelt. It's just not that hard, you know. So
Okay. Now,
yeah, I'll say I would be very upset.
Situation 2.
Oh, now you're gonna give me this, and it's gonna make me contradict everything I just said.
Whoa, calm down.
And make me question everything I got going here.
Situation 2. By the way, this is just the head of a toothbrush. I mean, just so random right now. But situation 2. You are, again, the kid's parents. Same situation. The only thing is, while the babysitter was driving to your house, another car comes in, and it's the other car's fault and hits you, and your kids get seriously injured.
Yeah, then I think at that point I'd be even more upset that they didn't buckle the seatbelts.
How mad? Okay, so how mad would you be?
I don't know, even more mad. I would be livid at that point. Especially if something bad happened, like, you know, if they got back okay, then I'd just be thankful. You know, I'd just be happy that everybody got back in one piece, and you know that them not wearing a seatbelt on a drive was the worst thing that happened. But if something bad actually did happen, then yeah, I'd be livid, like beyond measure.
Why would
you
you
be very
be
upset?
more mad in the second situation than the first situation?
Oh, here we go. This is the part where I question everything.
So
I like I said, I would say it's just more of a sense of relief on the first situation, more relief than nothing happened. I guess that's why I would be less mad. Whereas for the other situation, they actually got hurt, so that would just make me even more mad.
Right. No, you're definitely right. I just think it's interesting that, like, you would be mad, but you would be mad at the guy, correct?
For sure.
But the interesting thing is that the guy in both cases did the exact same thing. And so he wasn't in control. Remember, I said it was the other car's fault. So
Yeah.
he wasn't in control of the other car hitting your car and it getting, the children getting injured. So would you say which person A or person B, which one is more unethical? Or are they the same?
I'd say it's the same, yeah. I'd say it's the same. It's just the fact of, like, I would be less mad at one situation just because I was happy that everybody was okay.
Yeah.
That's where I would stand on that. I would say, but it's ultimately, ethically, morally speaking, it's the same thing. I mean, it's 6 1 half dozen the other. Either way, the guy made the decision. Maybe I should take it back. Not made the decision. Either way, the guy made the careless mistake to not buckle the seatbelts. So either way, ethically, morally, whatever you want to say, it's going to be the same. Just with the outcome is where the reaction is different.
Yeah. So you think you are justified in, depending on an outcome that is outside of the guy's control, you would change your opinion on how mad you are at the guy? Yeah,
I think so. I think that I would. Yeah, I think that's definitely what would happen in that situation. Yeah, for sure. I definitely would be more mad if something did happen.
I think it's true for anybody, by the way. But is that not interesting, or not interesting?
No, it's totally interesting. I get what you're saying.
It's weird that the guy would do the exact same thing in both situations.
But just the scenario was totally different on the other person. Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. It's definitely an interesting point. And either way, whether if, the kids get hurt or they get back, either way, it's the same, it's the same situation. And one of them you're going to be incredibly livid at, and one of them you're going to be like, thank God that you didn't get hurt, as you're looking at your kid or kids, thank God you didn't get hurt. So I think, like I said, I think it's just more of a sense of relief with scenario one that keeps you from being as mad. Now, sure, any parent would still be very upset that happened, whether if they got back okay or not. Either way, a parent is still not going to be accepting of that situation. But I definitely think that even if in my shoes, I would say that I would be more accepting of the first one than the second one because my kids got back okay.
Yeah, because your kid's back. Yeah, kid's back fine.
Right.
What if? Okay, this is a different scenario, but same premise. Is two guys, they go out to the bar, get had a bit to drink, and one left probably an hour before the other one did. Same amount of drinks, same amount of alcohol, and they're driving back home, and on the way, a child runs out and he hits the child, and because of his, because of the alcohol in his system, he's unable to avoid the child. Second situation, the guy, it's an hour later, and for some reason, like this is, quick incident, it's all taken care of by the time this guy comes back. Obviously, the child isn't there, and he gets back home safely. Are the people still, or both situations still morally on the same level?
Yeah. And I'm a big person on that because a lot of my friends down here, while in college, because I'm in college, everybody has fun while they're in college. A lot of my friends, will have a beer on Sundays for football, or if we're doing like rock band night and playing rock band, then everybody might have a drink or something. So, but I'm a very big person on not driving drunk, and I've always tried to be that designated driver option for my friends because I just feel like as a person, I would never forgive myself if I was able to affect a situation that was horrible and I didn't. So I'm very big on this topic. And yes, I think morally it's the exact same. If you are intoxicated in any way and get behind the wheel, that is it's just such a selfish decision too, because while yes, you're endangering yourself and that's very dangerous and your friends don't want you to get hurt, you're endangering other people at that point.
Yeah.
There could be some, family of four driving on the road, headed back to their house after a late night at grandma's or something like that. And you hit them and they did nothing. Like they weren't intoxicated. There was nothing wrong with them. They were just driving and going throughout their night and their day, as normal as they possibly can. And so, yeah, I think either way, I'm not a big person on that at all. I think either way, it's morally wrong if you are gonna drive while intoxicated. It's just not right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, like you said, it's just it's a little bit, when you look at it from the outside, like looking at the cases, like yeah, obviously they're the exact same. Like for the guy, you can see both cases side by side,
Right.
but in one situation, like the guy would put much less blame on himself if he didn't hit the kid. You know what I mean?
Right. Because he would pull in and say, well, nothing happened.
Well, nothing happened. Yes.
Right.
But like
That would be the response.
It's still like even an outsider would look at him and like they would put much more blame on him if he had hit the kid versus if he hadn't hit the kid, even though the kid had nothing to do with his actions. And so anyway, no, I just thought that was something that that obviously I was studying philosophy, that was interesting, and I know we've talked a lot about um, just the topic's basically moral luck, and we've talked a lot about how based on your consequences, not consequences, your circumstances, um, like morality is different based on your circumstances. For example, if you don't grow, like if you grow up in a rough place, how are you expected to have the same moral standards as somebody who doesn't? And if you're put into, you know, situations, you can have two of the same person, but if person A is put in situations where, um, a classic example is stealing to put food on the table for your family. You know what I mean? Like they're just put in more of those situations than you are because you're wealthy enough to have, avoided that kind of situation.
Right.
Like there's luck involved with it. And so that's something I think is just interesting because, a lot of people say like, not everybody's going to be the most genetically gifted athlete. Not everybody's going to be, I don't know, like super intelligent, super like God gifted intelligence. But like, we try to think of morality as the one thing where we can all be really good at. And so I think it's interesting when you take into account that some of it is luck. Like who your role model is, who you grew up with, who your parents were, what's your family's genetics, um what are, like I said, we've taken the DISC test at Purdue, and it has like character traits to the point where, you know, they almost know exactly just from taking that test exactly how I'm going to respond in certain situations. And that's just how I'm going to respond. It's a behavior analysis, and that's not saying I can't do certain things or I can do certain things, but that's just who I am. And so it's like, if it's that, kind of static of a thing, like how can we blame people for their, moral or ethical choices? When a lot of it's luck in general. So, no, I just, like I said, I try to throw every once in a while, I try to throw a little philosophy into the podcast, but no, I think
It's great. It's great. It's big insight. No, I think it's awesome for sure.
So,
so moving into something, and this is very interesting, and a lot of people are going to want to hear about this, but there's not much that I can say on it because it's your deal. But you just signed a NIL deal, and I'm sure the Boiler Nation is wanting to know, what is that? What is the brand, everything with it? So I'm going to turn the floor to you, sir, with your NIL deal.
No, it's just a lot of people on my basketball or the Purdue roster have also done the same thing. It's just Campus Inc. and there's going to be a store where you can get everybody at Purdue's jersey, shirts, just all these different things to just support the players.
And they're going to be selling 4 Kaufman Wren now?
Yeah, no, that's what's going to happen.
Let's go. That's so awesome.
Say I have a good game or something happens, they're going to be like, I don't know, special limited edition drops for those kind of situations, which will be pretty cool. So, obviously I'm not too big into the NIL stuff. Wyatt and I have been working on obviously this podcast, but trying to figure out some merch ideas for on the court in the booth, which I'm much more, I guess, focused on that than the basketball side of it. But yeah, like if you want to support and you want to support Purdue or even some other players in the team, like yeah, definitely check out Campus Inc. when it pops up. It'll be really cool. So
awesome, man. Well, speaking of something that would, you said something would be really cool. This would not be really cool. On a recent podcast, the JJ Redick podcast to be exact, Ben Simmons said that he's done listening to everybody and the critics, and he's just going to start firing on all cylinders. And by firing on all cylinders, he said he's going to start taking 23s per game. And I just, we on this show have always vouched for Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Trey, for the longest time, I kind of did look at the media narrative side of things until I had talked to Trey about it. And he really did open my eyes up with, like, if you're looking for an all-around player, Ben Simmons is a great guy for that, because the only thing he can't do essentially is shoot, but he can do everything else. He can play defense from the 1 to 5 position. He can pass exceptionally well. If you need him to, run your offense at the point guard position, he is a 6'10" guy who can do that. There's so many benefits of having him on your team. But, one of the things is that, it's a fact. We've seen it. Ben Simmons is not the best shooter.
Well, he doesn't shoot.
But he doesn't shoot. That's true. He's backed off because of it. Trey, how would this affect Ben if he just went from not shooting to 23s per game? That's so many, dude. Does Steph even take 23s per game? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he was, it was kind of a hyperbole for like 23s a game.
Oh, sure.
I mean, really, it's just like, like simple stuff, just taking wide open shots. Like, again, he doesn't have to be some just incredible knockdown shooter. Like, Ben, I don't care if you shoot 20% from the 3-point line. It's the fact that you're even, like, not even attempting to shoot the ball at all. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That just, and to be fair, we talked about, the advantages of Ben Simmons, but shooting is obviously the biggest thing. But also, a lot of teams aren't appreciating, how do I say this, the non-basketball side of it, whether it be his attitude or personality or whatever that is. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's another thing that teams are, I guess Ben Simmons is on the hot seat for. But as it pertains to basketball, like, he's one of the best point guards when he's playing. It's the same thing with Kyrie. Like, when they're playing and to their full potential, he's one of the best point guards in basketball. Like, no one can tell me otherwise, just because he can do everything on the floor except shoot the ball. And, like, if you put him with people who can shoot around him, I mean, Russell Westbrook can't shoot the ball. Like, but he's.
Did you see his new jumper though?
Yeah, it's spot up, and it's not like I hope he comes back with an absolute, pure jump shot. And I'm sure like Russ works on his game, so. But anyway, the point is that you don't need to, for as good as he is, as athletic as he is, and he's 6'10", he doesn't need to be able to shoot the ball.
Right.
But
drive to the hoop
him on the floor consistently is the most important thing. And then, like, just taking open shots, just wide open shots, even if they don't go in, just taking open shots is going to be the big thing for him. Is he going to shoot 23s a game? No. Is he going to shoot 5 threes a game? No. If he shoots 3 threes a game, like, everybody, the Nets would be super happy.
Just dump water all down the front of me.
Oh, that's just
sorry.
That has to happen. Yeah, but
well,
I don't know. That's my take on Ben Simmons. I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see him back and prove some people wrong.
For sure. No, I totally agree with you. But speaking of shooting from deep, from beyond the perimeter, nobody in the history of basketball has ever done it better than the Warriors' current dynasty that they have. And the Warriors came out today and said that their plan is to keep Poole, Wiggins, and Green.
Yeah.
And with the salary cap, with the way it looks, there is a real possibility they could work all this out. But it's going to take some working and some unselfishness from the team. But some of these guys deserve to be selfish. They deserve to grab their money. I agree with that. But I ask you, Trey, my question for you, if the Warriors are able to retain Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green, how much longer does this dynasty go?
Oh, I have no idea until it gets broken up. Realistically, I mean, they just have a type of they have a system both offensively and defensively that's just it's working. It's been working, and there's no reason that it should stop, unless obviously
right.
They've had a couple injury setbacks, but other than that, like they have a chance to be in every to win it all every single year.
They really do.
Every single year.
Especially with the point guard they got, who we talk about on every episode. We had Trey. We're ending out the show here, and I was worried that we weren't going to get in our stuff for this game or for this show. I had to throw it in there at the end.
Had to throw it in there.
Right.
But yeah, obviously my plan, I plan to go to Einstein Bagels tomorrow morning and get, 2 bagels. But that doesn't mean it's going to definitely happen. And so they have to, actually go out there and secure those players. And there's some work that needs to be done in order for it to happen. Now, if I'm a player, I guess it depends on how much money I have to begin with. But I'm telling you, after that first contract, Jordan Poole, obviously, I don't know how much money he's made in the NBA. I'm sure it's a decent. He's
still on the rookie contract. He was pick 30 of the first round, I think.
Yeah, that. Better bet that guy is going to be wanting every dollar on his contract.
For sure. But he deserves that money too. It's not like a situation.
Deserves every dollar. And
yes. Absolutely.
Going to be fighting for it. I'm telling you right
as
now.
He should.
I'm in that position. I am going to be fighting for every single dollar I can get.
100%. As you should.
Set my, kids up for life.
To set up the On the Court in the Booth podcast with better internet connection.
Right. That's all I'm I mean, how much? Right.
That right there. That's everything you'd ever need. Right there. That's
you'd ever need
for the rest of your life.
It's like with this amount of money, how many people could you help with? I don't know how much better internet would cost. But what is a better investment than the On the Court in the Booth podcast?
There's nothing. We should go to Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And look for an investor.
I don't know why. Why Shark
Hi,
Tank?
Mike Cuban. I'm seeking.
What's the product we're selling on Shark Tank?
Us. Okay? Hear me out here, okay? Hi, Mark Cuban.
He's going to sell a full Wyatt Williams, just himself.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm building a robot of myself and selling it to Mark Cuban so he can just have a robot butler of me around his house. But anyways, hi, Mark Cuban. I'm Wyatt Williams, and I'm happy to join you here on Shark Tank. And what I'm trying to sell you for here is for a small loan of $500. Our podcast can reach new heights with internet connection. It doesn't matter who it is. We'll take literally anything better, any better internet connection for this podcast. We'll take it, and we're seeking a $500 investment, and your return on investment. I mean, my bad.
Yeah.
Your ROI, return on investment, could be huge. Profits could be through the roof because, if we get better internet connection, nothing could stop us.
We would give him no equity at all.
That's a fair point.
So he would get zero.
We just need someone to believe in us here, Mark. That's all it is.
I'm not even paying you back the $500. Just give me.
Don't say that.
Hear me out.
Oh man! I said, don't say that.
Mark, I can call you Mark, right? Yes, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
$500, and I will say the Dallas Mavericks will make the playoffs next year. I know it's a long shot, but I will say it. I'll get on the Court in the Booth podcast right after the meditation minute. An episode or so from now, when you respond.
Prime time for people to be viewing. Our viewers are higher than ever right after the meditation minute.
Yeah.
It's the most people tune in for it. It's the most incredible part of our show.
Yeah, exactly.
The part where we're not on screen talking.
Yeah, exactly. The part where we're not.
Oh God. Trey, this has been a great episode. We had an awesome interview. We introduced a new awesome
80 minutes.
game.
This is incredible. I mean, time just literally flies. Where did the time?
Oh no, I know it's crazy. We've been on here for an hour 20, and it does not feel like it. I feel like we've done a show for 30 minutes. That's it. But we had Mikey on for a great long interview and a great game after that. Mikey spoke very well. I was very impressed at his age, being able to answer the questions the way he did. Really intelligent guy, and you can tell he's got his head on his shoulders correctly. And he's going to do great things. I really do think.
I hope so. Holy cow! If he didn't have his head on his shoulders.
That's true. We would have an issue with that. We talked about.
I mean, the ambidextrous quarterback. What about the headless quarterback? I mean, that's incredible.
You're really changing the game now. The safeties can't tell where you're looking. You could just view the whole field of people just looking at your eyes. Oh God!
What is that called? There's got to be a position that reads like no one could tell where you're throwing the ball.
Literally nobody. They can't watch your eyes. Nothing. You just blindly throw it. Like
it's just like I can't even I don't even know how to. You're just like right here, like boom, just oh man,
that'd be crazy.
Wow.
Best episode I think we've ever had. Total honesty, I think this was the best episode we've had so far on this podcast. This was awesome.
Wow, this has been a great. Just what an episode.
What an episode.
Top to bottom. I mean, I left the show at least 2 or 3 times. That may be a record. The record low. Only 2 to 3 times that I left the show due to a fused Wi-Fi connection. I mean,
we were able to hold it together. With duct tape and glue, we were able to hold this thing together.
I mean, remember, guys, if you want to support, buy our merch that we have not sold yet, or you can just send the money to. Why do you have a Venmo that we can?
I do have a Venmo. I have a Venmo. Yeah, if you just want to pre-order a shirt, I guess.
Pre-order the shirt that we haven't designed yet. Put in Wyatt Williams. What's your favorite?
I don't even know. I think it's like Wyatt Williams. I don't even know. It's my name and then some like random numbers.
Yeah.
Something.
We're gonna need to get that. We'll get the Venmo next time. Mark, you know where to find us.
This is great.
Until then, Dallas is not making the playoffs. But
I got something in my eye just like 2 seconds ago. There it goes. Got it out. What an ending to the show. That was spectacular. Trey, I think this is episode 20. This is crazy. I mean, it was an awesome episode. Had a lot of fun. Had an awesome interview. Talked about your NIL deal. Talked about Ben Simmons' meditation minute. Dubs aiming to keep Poole, Wiggins, and Green. I mean, just an all-around great episode. Trey, anything you want to say before we close out here, buddy? Wear white at night, but not after Labor Day.